Hey, if you're struggling to grow on YouTube, then this is the video for you, because in this video I'm going to show you 7 reasons why you will not succeed on YouTube, and at the end of the video I'm also going to tell you exactly how to succeed on YouTube. And if you're watching this video is part of a completely free YouTube course that I have right here on YouTube. So make sure to watch the whole series so that you can get all the tools that you need to succeed on YouTube, because we cover everything that you need to succeed on YouTube and everything that you don't need to succeed is eliminated. So stop wasting time with all these gurus and YouTube experts that are trying to teach you stuff, because a lot of the advice that they give you simply does not work in the real world. How do I know this? Because I run a company called VidGrowth, where we have dozens of channels grow on YouTube. And because of the volume of channels that we've had grow on YouTube over the last 3 years, we've collected so much data and we know exactly what to do, how to grow a channel, what works and what does not work. So stay tuned. Mistake number 1 that you're making on YouTube is you're simply not making the right kinds of videos. Now you could do everything right. You could have the best editing on your videos, you could have the best thumbnails, you could even follow a professionally written script. But if the video topic by itself is not engaging, then your channel simply will not grow. And what I mean by this is you really have to pick a niche if you want to grow on YouTube. Now, a niche doesn't have to be just one single topic. It can be a few different topics that you talk around your personal brand or around your personality, but you still have to know an audience. You have to make videos for a particular kind of audience. And what I mean by this is think of your YouTube channel as a TV channel. Like back in the day, you used to have different channels for different topics. For example, if you wanted to watch music or music videos, you would go to MTV. If you wanted to watch sports, you would go to ESPN. If you wanted to watch the news, you would log on to a news channel, and so on. But what would happen if, let's say, one day you were watching MTV and suddenly they started playing the news, or they started to talk about politics? You would completely turn off that channel, because it does not relate to, or you were not looking for that kind of content on that channel. Sure, you can have a variety of content. For example, MTV had a bunch of different shows on their channel, including music videos, parody videos, comedy skits, all these kinds of videos that used to be played on this channel. You can do all that, you can have a variety, but it's designed for a particular type of audience, a customer avatar if you want to call it. So don't worry if all of this is too confusing for you, because throughout this playlist I'm going to show you exactly how to pick a niche, how to find your target audience, all that stuff. So stay tuned and watch the videos that are linked in the description below. But for the purposes of this video, I want to tell you that this may be the single most important thing you can do to grow your channel, is to really understand your audience. If you can understand the audience, understand what exactly are their needs, their wants, the pain points, then that will give you so much clarity in terms of which videos to make. The second reason why you won't succeed on YouTube is that you lack originality. Now, I'm sure you've heard all these YouTube gurus talk about this, but what they suggest is maybe it makes sense in theory, but the problem is you're probably trying to imitate other people. Maybe you watched a certain YouTuber and you're like, yeah, I should make that kind of video or that style, or you try to replicate them, or maybe you're just finding video topics that others are making and you're making videos around them, or maybe you're just looking up keywords. The problem is that because there's so much content on YouTube, hours and hours of content is being produced on YouTube every single minute, how do you really stand out from it? If you try to imitate other people, then you're simply gonna be a version of that. You won't be an original version of yourself and what you want to put out in the world. So because YouTube and content creation is a very creative process, feel free to get creative. You don't have to follow a certain formula just because it works for someone. Sure, there's nothing that's completely original in this world. You can call it like a remix, but these people knew how to take content and remix it and make their own version of it. So if you're just trying to copy other people's styles in terms of speaking, in terms of editing, in terms of just the video layout and camera angles, all that stuff, then it probably won't work for you as well as it did for them. So why should someone watch your videos if there's already big channels out there that are making similar videos? One way you can really stand out from everyone else is to build a YouTube channel based on a personality, which is yourself. So your personality, how you talk, how you look, and your own experiences in life, your own area of expertise can really be shown through video. So instead of trying to copy other people's speaking styles, see what you can do and try to become the best version of yourself. Let's say you're someone like me who has an accent. I could try to talk like, let's say I like watching Gary Vee, he talks very fast, he's loud, he curses, but I enjoy his videos. But if I try to replicate, it's not gonna come off authentically and my content is gonna lack originality. Why should someone watch me when there's already Gary Vee available out there? So what I can do is is I can focus on myself. I can focus on becoming the best version of myself in terms of my speaking, in terms of how I make the videos, the editing, all of that stuff can be worked upon, but I'm not necessarily trying to copy other people. The third reason why you won't succeed on YouTube is you're looking for these YouTube growth hacks. I'm here to tell you that these hacks do not exist. Some of these hacks might work in the short term, but in the long term, you could get your channel penalized or even completely deleted if you're doing anything that's against YouTube's policy. And even if your channel doesn't get deleted or blocked or shadow banned, it's still not going to help your channel grow if you try to go for these hacks, because there are certain principles that work on YouTube, which I'll talk about at the end of this video. But a lot of people use hacks such as they try to get subscribers, like sub for sub. They ask other people to subscribe in exchange for you subscribing back to them. Or they buy all these bot services that are like, okay, I'll get you all these views, but then in the long term, the channel doesn't really grow. So the thing is, yeah, these hacks might work in the short term, but YouTube and their algorithm is very smart. They know, if you have all these fake subscribers and bots, first of all, they get rid of them from time to time. But the other thing is, the most important metric on YouTube is watch time. So if you try to get all these people to subscribe to a channel or even bots or other things, what's going to happen is these people are not going to watch your videos. So there's going to be a huge discrepancy between how many subscribers you have and how many views you have. Or if someone even clicks on your videos, let's say you're running ads, which we've helped a lot of clients come out of, because when they came to us, they were paying to some marketing company for some ads, and what happened was they started advertising their channel on random websites that had nothing to do with their kind of content, or random countries even that didn't even speak English, because it's very cheap to advertise there. The problem is those people, even if it's not bots and even if it's real people, these people will first of all not even watch your videos. And even if they do watch your videos, you can go into your analytics and you can see that the watch time suffers, the average view duration suffers, because let's say someone doesn't even speak English, but they see your thumbnail, they click on your video, but then they don't understand what you're saying, so they just click off. What does that tell YouTube? Hey, this is not a good video. People are clicking, maybe this is a clickbait video, it's not a good video, let's not show it to other people anymore. So that's what's going to happen to your channel if you go for all these hacks, and that will kill your channel in the long term. The fourth reason why you won't succeed on YouTube is that you're being a perfectionist, and perfectionism is a form of procrastination. And we've all done this. I know it's very hard to put yourself out there on video. Maybe you're afraid of criticism, maybe you don't think you're good enough, maybe you're comparing yourself to other people, maybe you think your videos need to be like this Hollywood level perfect videos that you see other creators making. I'm here to tell you that all of that is not very important. Sure, once you reach a certain level, people do expect you to have a certain video quality, but for the majority of us, it's simply not the case. In fact, there's a lot of YouTubers out there that you may have seen that maybe they don't even have a good camera. They just use a cell phone camera, which is good enough for most people. But what happens is, because we are so much in our own head and we're like, okay, I need to, have the perfect script for this video. I need to have the perfect camera. And unless I have this camera, I can't make these videos. And that simply is not true. And this is not just unique to YouTube. We all do this regardless. For example, I play music. When I first started playing music, I was like, okay, maybe I need to buy this brand of guitar, and unless I get this brand, I'm not good enough. Or I need to get this amplifier. You end up like collecting gear, and then you never end up doing the thing that is necessary for you to grow, which is to actually do the craft, actually play the instrument. So if you consider YouTube to be a skill that you want to develop, then imperfection is just part of it. But as you make more videos, you get better and better over time. And our company has worked with several clients that have dealt with the same issue, where they would not put out enough content because they needed every single thing to be perfect. And because of this, they eventually ended up burning out and they stopped making videos altogether, which is kind of discouraging, because the videos that they were putting out initially were good enough for YouTube, but they always felt like they needed to be like at a certain level where they were comparing themselves to other YouTubers, and for this reason, they never put out enough content. So I'm here to tell you that don't worry about perfectionism. You don't need the best camera, you don't need the best lighting. Sure, those things will help, but get that over time. And even in terms of making the video, even this video is not scripted. I just wrote down some bullet points of the things I wanted to cover in this video, and I'm just speaking from my own experience. So if you have a cell phone, and if you have a decent phone, that's an iPhone 10 or newer, the cameras are pretty good. Just make sure you have decent lighting, maybe some window lighting, and have some decent audio, meaning don't film in a noisy environment. And those things are good enough. You have everything you need right here in your pocket. Some people, they try to get all the equipment, and then it becomes such a hassle to set up all the equipment. So I would say, if you you can put out enough content, then that's much better than you making a few videos that are perfect, whereas we know that perfectionism does not exist. So stop being a perfectionist if you want to grow on YouTube. The fifth reason why you will not succeed on YouTube is that you're focusing too much on YouTube SEO. Now, you may have heard, even we talked about this in our previous video, that YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world and is owned by the largest search engine, which is Google, which is true. It's absolutely true. But the problem is YouTube SEO and Google SEO are not the same. In fact, they're quite different. So I've worked in marketing for the last 8 years and I've done everything from Google SEO to other search engines SEO and even YouTube SEO. And the thing is, most search engines, let's just take Google as an example. When Google wants to show you a result, let's say you have a website and you've optimized for SEO and your website shows up, Google's job is to actually send people off their platform, off Google, and give you the best results so you can go to another website. Whereas with YouTube, it's the opposite. YouTube wants to keep people on the platform. They don't want you to click on a video on some other website. They have their own platform, and YouTube's business model is to keep people on the platform for as long as possible so that they can show them more and more ads. So if you're, let's say, staying on YouTube for a duration of half an hour, then you'll see multiple ads throughout that half an hour that you watch, and YouTube makes their money that way. So YouTube SEO used to be a little bit different back in the day, where you could get away with keyword stuffing or find the exact keywords that you needed to make. But what has happened is, because now everyone is doing that, how does YouTube know, okay, which video is good or not? Like, they can't just simply take a video that is optimized for SEO and then lose people off the platform. Let's say you have a video that is talking about dogs, but you write in the title, this is a video for cats and it's completely optimized for cats SEO. But when people click on the video expecting a cat video and they watch a dog video, then they're gonna be like, okay, this is the wrong video. So it might cause people to go off the platform. And for this reason, YouTube will penalize your video. They won't show it because your video is not helping YouTube achieve their goal. Also on YouTube, you may have seen that depending on which account you log in with, or depending on the location you log in with, let's say a person logs in to YouTube in the United States versus Canada versus India, they're all going to see different results for the exact same keyword. And this is because search results on YouTube are optimized or are personalized depending on your search history, your watch history, the kind of channels that you subscribe to. So a lot of the things, like where people focus on the exact keywords, so, okay, I need to have these exact keywords in my title, in my description, and my tags, it doesn't work the way it used to work. So stop treating YouTube as just a search engine. It is a search engine, but the YouTube search algorithm is just one part of the algorithm. There's other algorithms that YouTube uses to suggest videos to the right audience that will actually help your channel grow faster. The sixth reason why you won't succeed on YouTube is that you're impatient and you don't enjoy the process. Now, growing a YouTube channel is extremely hard. In fact, you could have all the money in the world, you could be the biggest corporation, you can throw all the money that you want, but unless you are focused on the process, your channel will not grow. What I mean by this is tying into our previous point where we talked about perfectionism. But on YouTube, there is a process. There's a process of really finding your niche, fine-tuning it over time, and also finding what type of content works for you and what type of content does not work for you. So you simply cannot bypass this. You could have the best strategy possible. In fact, a lot of clients even come to us and they're like, yeah, I want 10,000 subscribers, whereas they're just starting out, they have 0 subscribers. So there is a process to be followed on YouTube. Everything from finding your target market to fine-tuning your content, listening to your community, building a community, finding your own voice, finding what kind of content is working for you, finding what type of content is not working for you. All these things take time. So even we get a lot of clients who are just starting on YouTube and they're like, yeah, we have a big budget, we want to advertise, just help us get to 100,000 subscribers. Well, it's not that simple. But if you understand that it's gonna be a process, it's gonna be a lot of iterations, a lot of different video styles, different topics initially at least, then you're in it for the long game. You're not just looking for some hacks to get some views temporarily. You're trying to build a channel, hopefully, that will build you a very large audience for many years and will help you to grow your business as well over time using this audience. So if you want to do that, you have to love the process. You have to enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey of everything from how hard it was for you to make a video or how little knowledge you had about editing and thumbnails and cameras to imagine where you can go. It's just like a skill, like anything, whether you're an athlete, a musician, whatever it is, you gotta put in the work. The kind of analogy I like to use, I used to have a fitness channel back in the day and I used to talk about the process where if you want to build muscle, muscle, you gotta focus on doing the work. You gotta go to the gym every day. You gotta do the reps. Even if you don't feel like doing it on certain days, you still go in there. You put your body through some stress, some resistance, and over time your body gets better. You increase your fitness, you get more muscle, you get stronger, and that's how you progress. So it's the same thing with YouTube. It is all about the process, and if you just keep making videos on a regular basis, if you commit to a schedule, then that will get you really far. Versus there's a lot of YouTubers who get so discouraged because they put out like a couple of videos and then they keep looking at the analytics on the YouTube Studio or YouTube Studio app, and they're like, oh, why is no one watching my videos? Why don't people subscribe to me? How will I monetize my channel? All those things. Yeah, those things will come if you focus on the process, but not the other way around. The seventh reason why you won't succeed on YouTube is that this is a hard pill to swallow, but your content is simply not good enough. Now, don't get discouraged by this because you can see this as an opportunity for growth, but maybe your communication style is not good enough yet, or maybe your editing is not good enough, or maybe your setup isn't good enough. There's a lot of variables that go into this. Now, you don't need to improve everything at once and try to make the perfect video like we just talked about, but I would suggest try to improve one thing from one video to the other. So let's just say you just finished filming a video. Ask yourself what you could have done better. Be honest with yourself. Maybe you could have had more energy in the video. Maybe you could have improved your lighting. Maybe you can buy another microphone. So there's minor improvements over time that you can make that will really help you improve your videos one video after the other. But if your videos are just not connecting, it could be a lot of these factors, including not selecting the right niche. So really try to ask yourself what you could have done better. And you can even ask people for feedback. Ask other YouTubers, other content creators if you get a chance. If you're part of other Facebook groups that are talking about YouTube, maybe post a video there and ask them for honest feedback, or maybe ask a friend or family member, because when you ask other people, they see things that you don't see. And oftentimes we have our own biases and we don't like to be criticized or be self-critical at times. But when you ask other people, you get a lot of feedback, and just focus on one of those things people tell you over time and just put one foot in front of the other, and that will get you really far. Even if that means that, let's say over the next 3 months or 6 months even, you're planning on just improving your videos over time, one thing at a time. By the end of the 3 to 6 months, you will have completely reached a new level that you won't even be able to believe where you were 3 to 6 months ago. So now that you know why people fail on YouTube, what does it actually take to succeed on YouTube? Well, it's very simple, but that also means it's very hard to do. Because the simple answer is not really what we want to hear, but what we need to hear. So I'm gonna give you 3 things you can do to improve your channel and really start growing. This is not some kind of hack that these gurus talk about, but this is what actually works. And in order for you to grow on YouTube, you have to think like YouTube. See, at the end of the day, YouTube is a business. Their business model is building a platform that has a lot of users, and then they can monetize the platform through advertising. So for this reason, they need to keep people on the platform for as long as possible. So if your videos help YouTube achieve their goal, which is to keep people on the platform for as long as possible, then that will help you succeed as well. So how do you do that? Number one, you gotta make sure you have the right niche and the right topic for that niche. And you gotta really do your market research and really understand everything about the niche. Maybe you already have knowledge. Maybe you already have a business where people ask you questions. Maybe you have other social media profiles where people come to you for advice. Take a note of these topics. And in my next video, I'm going to talk about how you can do the market research. But for the purposes of this video, really try to understand your audience, and that will take you further than most people. It's like you put in the work up front, but then everything else gets simpler once you understand and get the whole picture about what exactly is your strategy in order for you to serve this audience. Because at the end of the day, that's what you're doing. You're serving a particular audience. The second tip I have for you is to maximize the watch time on your video. And of course, this includes the right topics, because if you don't have the right topics, you won't get that much watch time on your videos. But once you have the right topic in mind, how do you maximize the watch time? This comes down to a lot of elements, including scripting the video the right way, telling a story, or even things like your editing make a huge difference in terms of maximizing your watch time. But like I said, YouTube wants to keep people on the platform for as long as possible. So if your video is edited in a way, it's written in a way that is engaging, that keeps people watching for as long as possible, then YouTube can show them more ads, and YouTube makes more money, and you as a creator, if your channel is monetized, will also make more money. But also because YouTube sees this as a quality video, because that's the only way they can really determine if a video is quality or not, is they show this video, to the right audience, and then they see how people react to it. Meaning, if people are watching the video for a long period of time, that tells YouTube that this is a good video, and then they're going to try to push out that video to more and more people. And the third tip I have for you is to maximize your click-through rate on YouTube. So what is click-through rate? In case you don't know, if YouTube shows your thumbnail and your title of the video to 100 people, how many people actually click on it? So out of 100, let's say if 5 people clicked on it, then your click-through rate would be 5%. And why is this important? Well, if you know for a fact you have a good quality video, meaning you selected the right topic, it's written well, it's shot well, it's edited well, it's engaging, it tells a story, then your thumbnail and your title will sell the viewer on your video. So with the thumbnail and title, you're telling, first of all, it stands out. It has to be something that is attention grabbing, especially the thumbnail, because YouTube is a visual platform, and out of like thousands and thousands of videos that YouTube can share with your audience at a particular period of time, like why should someone click on your video? So your thumbnail, first of all, has to be designed in a way that grabs people's attention, but also it's something that sparks some curiosity in them. Otherwise, people will never click on it unless they're like, yeah, I want to learn what this is. So really nail down your thumbnail design that is gonna not only get people's attention, but also compels them to click. And think of your thumbnail as the packaging of your video. If the video is a product, you gotta have an attractive packaging on top of it where people are like, yeah, I wanna pick up this product. I wonder what this is. But if your packaging is dull, or if it's not too exciting, then no one's gonna click on it. So that's the third tip. Really try to maximize your click-through rate by, first of all, making really attention-grabbing thumbnails, spark some curiosity, and then have a nice title to the video that goes well with the thumbnail. It complements each other, and the title will give the people the value proposition and will tell them why exactly they should watch this video, or it could tell them what would happen if they don't watch this video. And don't worry, I'm going to talk about this in great detail in my upcoming videos in this playlist, so make sure to check out this entire playlist in the description below. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and please make sure not to follow a bunch of these gurus that teach you these hacks. Make sure to avoid these 7 mistakes that I just talked about in this video. If needed, just rewind it or make a note of them so that you don't repeat these mistakes. Because these 7 things we've observed over and over again are the mistakes that really prevent people from growing on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe to this channel if you like this video, and I'll talk to you next time.